Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a Truder, welcome back to Stellaris for the brand new LEM update, or version 3.1, if you're feeling numeric, and this is fascinating. This brings one of the biggest changes to the base game for quite some time, one I'm really rather excited by, and yet that's kind of not the biggest deal. In some ways, the most important thing about this update isn't the update itself, but rather what it means for the future of Stellaris going forward. So, okay, we'll get back to that intriguing statement in just a second, because first I'm obliged to do a little bit of disclosure. As you may have guessed from the title of the video, this video is sponsored by Paradox, and in a really odd way too. Like, I literally emailed them saying, hey guys, any chance I can get access to that nice sexy LEM update? And Paradox said to me, yes you can, also would you like some money? And money's rather helpful in general, it can be exchanged for goods and services, so I'm not mad. I basically said, sure, go on. I'm guessing, by the way, they did that because they wanted me to specifically point out the fact that Stellaris is currently on sale on Steam, which it is. In fact, not just a sale, you can play Stellaris for free right now till September the 20th, so if you've ever looked at it and thought, oh my goodness, I wouldn't mind giving that a go, might be a rather nice time to do it. And if you already have, well, all the DLC's on sale too. Link down below to all of that sexy good stuff. But okay, let's get back to that intriguing statement I made just a second ago about what this update means for the future of Stellaris. Because the LEM update is the first thing to be produced by the brand new and incredibly dramatically named Custodian team. These are a new group of folks inside Paradox whose job is basically, rather than saying, hey, let's make a new DLC, then sell it, maybe a balance patch, couple of hotfixes, straight on to the next DLC, instead, they look at the existing game, improve and add additional stuff to it, which is really kind of cool. So say the Necroid Species Pack that came out a while back, this was like, you know, the Necromancers, Death Cults, all the rest of it. Thanks to the LEM update, if you've got Necroids, when you kill biological Leviathans, you can bring them back as zombies. If you take out the Ether Drake, then you can reanimate him as an undead zombie dragon. Now that was never originally advertised as part of the Necroids pack, but it's just new free content, and this is true for loads of the bits of DLC, and this is what the Custodian team is going to be doing. They're just going to be making the DLC that already exists better and better. But, how about we go right back to the beginning to show just what we're talking about, because do you remember what the very first bit of Stellaris DLC was? Because you might well have forgotten because it was really small. It was the Plantoids Species Pack, and looking back, next to the species packs that have come out since, in particular Lithoids and Necroids, it felt a bit underwhelming because you just didn't get much aside from a couple of portraits and models. And right now that starts to get fixed, and what I particularly like is the goal doesn't seem to be to make, you know, Plantoids suddenly way more powerful, it's to make them way more interesting. Because obviously, when you think about Plantoids, you'd be thinking, okay, so the growing of food ought to be way more important, because for most empires, food is really not a consideration. Mostly you're floating huge stockpiles of it, I sell it on the market, it's just not a thing. But if you're literally a plant, you'd think growing stuff would be quite a big deal. Well, thanks to this update, it's about to become one. Say hello to the new catalytic processing civic. So, yeah, thanks to this, you do not convert minerals into alloys. Your alloys come from food, so all of a sudden, food is way more important, alright? Agriculture, hugely important, especially as I'm also playing as a Hivemind, so, okay, there's a reason this empire is called the Hunger, and another new civic as well, unique to, I think, plants and fungi, Idyllic Bloom. So, a special building chain thing that lets you convert any world you want into Gaia worlds. It's very expensive, but it's a cool little tool to have available. And a few new plant traits here as well. So, budding. You can't take, yes, rapid breeders and budding. That'd be too damn powerful, I checked, but this is rather interesting, because this means that, yes, slowly, over time, every pop is just, you know, growing a new tiny pop via the process of something plants. I'm not a gardener, I don't cooking know. So at the start of the game, I'm guessing that's going to be weaker than rapid breeders, but as time goes on, if this hits a critical mass, this could be rather interesting. In fact, if you put all this together, Hivemind plus 25% growth speed, the Tree of Life Origin, this was added in a previous free update, that is, yes, I believe another 15% bonus to pop growth, add in budding on top of that, so they start making even more pops, and this is going to be a ludicrously high growth empire that just needs to desperately expand, consume in any way it can, and that's going to be rather interesting. Let's dive in, shall we? In case you've never played the Hivemind before, they do work a little bit differently. So, yes, my lovely planty Hivemind right over here has got, you know, pretty standard base building, produces a whole bunch of different jobs. But, while the research labs are pretty standard, all the other things not so much. So over here we have got ourselves our Unity building, if you will. Synaptic nodes that convert food into Unity. And then next to them, the spawning pool. So once again, not only are we just growing pops normally really fast, we can actually manufacture them as if they were robots right from the get-go as well. But you may have noticed something about quite a few of those buildings. So thanks to catalytic conversion, yes indeed, to make alloys, I need food. Okay, so those spawning drones, how do I make new people together with amenities? Well, I'm going to be needing food for that. My synapse drones, how do they produce unity together with administrative capacity? Well, you need food for that. And also, you know, every drone just needs to eat as well. Though, hang on, if I'm a plant and I'm eating food that we grow, is this okay? Because this suddenly feels a bit wrong, actually. Wrap all that together, and yes indeed, my total population across the entire world is 33 pops, and about half of them have to be farming just to keep myself going. And there's more pops arriving, and they're going to need to eat too. Though, oh, look at that. New pop in just 18 months. That's like half the time of a normal empire. And then on top of that, yes indeed, we're going to be constructing a new one in 41 months. So that's mainly the spawning pool, but it's also kind of a little bit from the budding. So more pops means more budding, means even faster progress going forward. And yeah, as you may have guessed, we're going to be needing a lot more bloody foods. You see, we're starting to see issues already, which is I desperately need so many people to be constantly farming that, yeah, there are 9 open jobs in maintenance drones. And as a result of that, yeah, they're my main way of making amenities. I am suffering -7 to amenities pretty much from the get-go just because there aren't enough people to do basic maintenance because we're just desperately farming so we don't all starve to death. So yeah, we're going to be needing additional sources of food. Okay, the game's just messing with me at this point. We've got Scorpio right next door. Abandoned Gateway, that's always nice. But an 8 mineral system right next door. The one game I basically don't need minerals. Love it. Thanks, Stellaris. That's amazing. But. Okay, so it's time to help myself to a tradition. And traditions have always been not ideal, to be honest, ever since they were introduced back in, what was that, Utopia? Because there were always just 7 trees, with a couple of really minor swapsy roundies, like the empires that couldn't do diplomacy got, I think, adaptability instead. But for the most part, you'd see the same perks over and over again, and it didn't really feel so much as specialising as choosing what order you wanted to get the same upgrade you always got. And oh, that just changed. Because now you may notice, oh dear, where's expansion? Where's supremacy? Where's prosperity? Where's discovery? Where are all of my favourites? They're not here anymore, because now you get to choose. Now you can actively specialise your empire in a particular direction, and oh, that's so much better. So what I have access to is 10 distinct tradition trees. So I can choose to start any of them, and ultimately I'll be able to have 7 of them, assuming I get enough unity to get all 7, but you really should, to be honest. And what's more exciting is this is going to grow over time, because some of these are attached to old DLC packs. So for example, Nemesis introduced a big subterfuge system. So if you want to specialise and really double down on spying, hostile actions, all of that good stuff, then you've got this brand new tree available. And yeah, this is all about hacking and making sure people can't hack you. So, code breaking and encryption, people can't hack you, you can hack them. Together with hostile operations are way more difficult for your enemies. When people try and target you and fail, you gain bonus intel on them, which is really nice, because yes, intelligence helps you make really good choices going forward in the game. Shadow recruit, infiltration speed, so getting into other empires a lot faster. Some of these might need a bit of balancing and a bit of work yet, but I like the idea that you can now specialise and roleplay in particular directions. The other brand new one is Unyielding, which I believe is unlocked by Apocalypse. So, okay, what have we got here? Strongholds providing unity, not a bad way of generating more unity. To be honest, never surrender, so okay, bonus damage with orbital bombardment. Then we have got, I think you've, moved over. Some of these have also been refreshed, rebalanced a little bit too. But yes, that's now moved over to Unyielding. You've also got Defensive Zeal, so okay, more effective starbases and Vigilant Thought Processors. Starbase capacity up, starbase upgrade cost minus 50%. That's not bad. Starbases are really expensive to upgrade. Together with, hostile operation difficulty for, sabotaging starbase. That doesn't happen that often. That one you can take or leave. But just, you've now got choices, which I really rather welcome, yes. That's a huge improvement. I mean, if there's one thing I want, it's more options. I'd like to get up to, say, at least 14, so you really feel like every time you play, you're getting different ones. But the fact we're now moving in the direction of more and more optional traditions, it's going to make games that feel distinct from each other, which is really good. Here we go. So. As I was saying, you don't really find food just floating around in space. You know, you find energy around stars, you find minerals on planets, you don't really find food just floating there. Unless, of course, you look really closely on planets and find some lovely, lovely Iron Age folks who absolutely won't be able to defend themselves against the attack of the killer tomatoes. So, okay, how about we get some armies up and going and see what we can do to these poor bastards, because, bit of extra food coming in would not hurt. I feel bad for these guys, because they're just chilling out in the Iron Age, having a lovely time, and giant Venus flytraps with laser guns are about to invade their planet, and there's really not much they could do about it, but, I mean, due credit to them, they managed to get the odd hit. You know, the odd arrow has managed to penetrate our armor. Didn't even bother sending a general, to be honest. Felt like wasn't really necessary. Okay, I'm so sorry about this, lads. No, I'm not sorry, but, we are going to eat you, if at all possible. So, the current situation is no one is doing any job whatsoever, and the undesirables are being purged. Which is fine, if a little bit, unproductive. Okay, is there maybe a better way we could be purging these individuals? Processing. So we process them into nutrient-rich food sources. Yes, now that's the option. And once again, there is a 1 in 5 chance that each pop may escape being turned into food, and instead become a refugee fleeing to a nearby empire, and, I'm gonna be honest, game, you're being very generous with the chance of the Iron Age civilization escaping into space. But who knows, maybe they've, like, I don't know, stolen a ship that crashed from my empire or something. Right, happiness down to 10%. Quite frankly, it's higher than 0. I think we're doing pretty well. But yeah, the problem we've got here is the whole Tree of Life thing. Back on my home planet, part of the reason we're doing so well is, the Tree of Life. This is a feature that starts on my planet if you've got this origin, so, pop growth speed up, society research up, housing up, because we live in the Tree of Life, or rather, I suppose, like, grow out of it or something. Agricultural districts, basically, it's a really good thing. And if I go to a new planet with my colony ship, it's really expensive because I'm actually setting up a new little Tree of Life bud. So it's gonna grow. But this planet, we took it over, meaning there's no Tree of Life there. And that means for us, this just isn't a good place to be. Not in its current form anyway. So I feel like what we might want to do is just process these people into food, and then abandon the planet, and then recolonize it, bringing a Tree of Life with us. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful, beautiful sexy food income. Okay, that's much better. That means, if anything, yeah. Right now the alloys coming in are really, really poor. Let's get out a new industrial district, because that means more food into more alloys. Okay, tragically it would appear those delicious Iron Age peasants are already gone. Really more of a snack than a banquet. But their world could potentially be useful, just not in its current form. So, okay lads, everybody off the planet, back to the capital please. Oh, Edge of the Empire, looks like we've got ourselves our first proper contact. This was just some, yeah, Yankee whales, buddy. We need to figure out who you are. So, just send one of our diplomats to go and take care of that. No trouble whatsoever. He'll be making a bit of progress as time goes by. And more importantly, yes indeed, Jangle Prime is now down. And because we settled it properly, we've now got a Tree of Life. So, pop growth speed at 10%, more society research, loads of housing, agricultural districts. It syncs up really nicely with this build. Because, yeah, it gives you plenty of agricultural space. And on top of that, okay, habitability, not great at the moment, could be better. So, it sure would be nice if we could, I don't know, convert this place into something much nicer. Except we can't, because I can only do that on planets that try and deal for me already. Okay, so I feel like this one's on me. Yeah, it did say it right there. Gaia Seed is on worlds ideal to your starting species, so I just didn't read the tooltip, basically. That one's on me, fair enough. So I did think that seemed a bit generous, being able to just, you know, convert anything you wanted into a Gaia world using technology you could start with. Okay, yes, that does make a bit more sense. So, idyllic bloom, because it can only be done on worlds that are already really well suited to you. Got it. Okay, worrying signs over on this flank, however. The Delta aliens are actively trying to block our signals. They don't want to talk to us. Okay, begin the panic constructing of farms, because more and more people are being born thanks to my ludicrous pop growth rate, but there's no more farms for them to work on. So, okay, just get on with doing a bit more in the way of farming. It's going to be great. And now this'll do. We got a brand new up-and-coming go-getter governor who could boost food from food jobs. Yep, done. Do it right now. Get him in play. Also, never forget, because I just did, when you settle a new planet, get the spawning pool down right away. One per planet, but the amount of extra pops it produces is just lovely. Especially when synced up with budding. Yeah, right now, basic growth back on the capital is 6.75 a month. But we're up to 3 a month through assembly. So, yeah, that's now 1 off budding, 2 from pop jobs, the spawning pool. So, basically, that building plus budding is just generating 50% bonus pops, on top of the fact I'm already gaining pops like twice as fast as any other empire. Like, the year 2218, and we're up to 51 pops on the capital. That's a lot. Okay, so, fun revelation about the bastards next door who refuse to talk to us. I can't say for absolute certain yet, but I'm pretty sure that's Julianus Vatinius and the Pax Romana. So, I mean, they are a warlike people. I feel like they're not going to take kindly to our presence, no. Okay, hang on. It's not just the Romans. I think it's the Romans together with... I don't know. Yes, a new intelligence system. I've no bloody clue. But... establish embassy. Okay, hang about. I think there's a bunch of people that might have formed a federation here. I mean, okay, yes, we will swap embassies with you. Are you the guys next door? Okay, we've got terrifying bird people next door. They're a megacorp. They are xenophile. Unlike the Romans, they're not trying to keep us out. So we know they're part of a federation. So they have rushed into a federation and they're gathering more members. Okay, just send a diplomat to build up a relationship with these guys, because they seem pretty chill. We can, let them... oh, hang on. Maybe we can't let them set up, shops, because we're a collective intelligence that has no need for shopping. Okay, I'm not sure we're going to be friends necessarily.
Fleeing aggressors.
Never mind, there's something hostile going on. Hang on, do we know what's hostile? Okay, it was just some space amoeba or something. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's fine. Although I think we should give a special, you know, drama award to whoever named the system Gamma Draconis. Alright, there's no dragon there. There's literally just some space amoeba. It's fine. Oh, now here's what we want to see. Okay, an edict for farming subsidies, and on top of that, food processing facilities. So, food from every drone, +1, and bonus jobs. Yes, 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 yes. Get working on that immediately. And oh my goodness, it's the Snifflet Friendship. All of our old friends are showing up. Okay, we greet you in friendship, Snifflets, and that's not actually a pun, it would say that anyway. But, yes, that feels incredibly appropriate. Apparently we know the Snifflets of Snorf, they're up here, though there's no actual borders up here, so kinda doesn't matter. Well, this is just an absolutely lovely game today. I say that, they've got a fleet there. Okay, you guys are willing to, yes, association status. Please give me that, that'd be lovely. And there we go. I am now associate to the Roman Security Pact. I don't want to go to war with a 3-person federation this early in the game because, yeah, under the new intel system, I just don't know how strong they are. So just work under the assumption 3 empires are going to be stronger than 1. And there we go. Now I'm an associate. I can see what's going on a lot better. So the Romans have built, yes, they've built quite the impressive little federation right at the start of the game, I'll give them. Though they have kind of, yeah, squeezed themselves in a bit between their fellows. Honestly, it's kind of unlucky they're not all going to war. That would be much more helpful for me. And when I can't see their precise fleet strength, I do have visibility of their fleets nearby just by virtue of scanning. That's probably their fleet right there, strength of 200. Now, I'm only 100, so, you know, I'm hardly doing that well, but okay, they're not that strong. And also, bear in mind, I'm swimming in alloys right now, thanks to the fact I'm converting, you know, food into that. Probably best we start upgrading this starbase. Get on that right now. Just because this is going to be a major frontier going forwards. Okay, I was getting on just fine with the Boki. And then they decided to spend what must be a ludicrous amount of influence actually settling behind my lines. So they've now got this tiny area right here. Admittedly, this area to the south, I've not been bothering with it because it's kind of trash, to be honest. Like, Ruinum's nice normally, but I don't really need the minerals for anything. Then we have got, yeah, I believe this is the Tiyanki capital right here. Doesn't really do much for me, to be honest. Kind of trash, kind of trash. One nice-ish system down over there. The really good stuff's in this direction, though. Unfortunately, right next to, yes, a Marauder Empire, but I'm sure they're going to be chill with me. It's not going to be a problem. But seriously, there's some nice shields on this side of the Empire. So, okay, if they're determined to help themselves to trash, I guess we won't stop them, because, they've got literally nowhere else to expand. Got it. Alright, I still want to do a perfect idyllic bloom on at least one planet. But if I terraform a planet so that it becomes ideal for me, then at that point, I can convert it into a Gaia world. So okay, 2-stage terraforming, let's go. Okay, a few years have passed, here's the state of play. I've expanded pretty much as far as I naturally can. At this point, we're starting to all squish up against each other. We discovered the, yes, Snifflet Friendship up north, but they have joined the same federation as the Pax Romana and a couple of nobodies that nobody cares about. The tenants of Tabby are also next door, and as much as it pains me to say it, murdering Tabby and then eating her might be the best option. Because Tabby appears to be relatively weak, fairly isolated. She is part of a federation with the Zhrai Nation, but they're currently under attack by the Pax Romana. So, okay, check on the state of that war. Yeah, Defender war exhaustion is immediately higher, so the defenders are probably losing, and the attackers are the Pax. So Julianus Vatinius is winning the war against Tabby right now, meaning Tabby's fleets are probably nice and distracted, out of the way, all the rest of it. Problem is, I don't think I know, yeah, how many planets she's got, except, hang on, do I? Empire colonies, repose, ooh, maybe it's just the one. Okay, I think Tabby's got nothing but the capital. So, Okay, in which case, getting to that's going to be tricky. Hang on. The claims are going to be extremely expensive, right? No, I could make a claim on Lux right now and just go and take it. I mean, it feels like a bad thing to do, in a way, because, you know, Tabby is a very cute, fluffy girl and we enjoy petting her. But on the other hand, how many people are going to be on Lux? Like, that's going to be pretty much our entire empire, presumably, so I have no visibility whatsoever. I mean, now would be a good time to go and attack the Tabs. Then again, hang on, Okay, I've got a good amount of alloys coming in. You may notice the food situation, though we've stockpiled a lot, is not looking great. Minerals are just sitting there, so we've got nothing to do with them. Let's build a new fleet and then get ready to move in against Tabby. And I can't help but notice you're also squatting on a tropical world right on my border, Tabby. Now, come on. You know I like tropical worlds, so you've kind of brought this on yourself. There's another one right there. Okay, so we're going to be having absolutely all of this. Okay, fleets in position, final claims down, time to move in and take over a bit of Tabby space. And whoever those guys are, they want to be in on it, so that'll work just fine. There we go, it's time for some war. So. All fleets, prepare to move in. Alright, I have got some really nice fleets here. Alright, in particular, I am armed to the teeth with plasma weaponry. Okay, we're at war, and we don't actually know how tough the people we're fighting are going to be, but just look at that. That plasma weaponry. Plasma is no joke. All forces are prepared to, yes, just continue moving, because these areas, though they've got good planets for me, Tabby never actually landed on them, so we don't have to do landings either. Though I appreciate we will need to perform a landing on Lux, I am training a new army right now. The only fight that might be a bit tougher, yes, a slightly tough little platform right here, but Plasma is tearing it apart. No trouble. Can I occupy and improve this, by the way? Okay, it was nothing but anchorage. Also, apparently the Otago are making progress somewhere. What are you guys doing, by the way? The Otago are attacking... Oh, they're attacking a system up here. Okay, so the Otago are keeping these guys, the Ebrick, out of the war. The Zhrai, I have no idea where they've got to, but they're not here, so it's all fine. And Tabby is just basically... She's not got anything, the poor lass, so it's just a matter of time till we take Tabby's homeworld. Also, I've still literally only got 2 planets, so okay, let's get some better ones down here. In particular, if I could just gather a bit more energy, yeah, we could convert this nice little planet. It's a bit small, but it will do, into a proper tropical world. Well, someone set up the galactic market, and I'm swimming in minerals I don't need, so okay. Drop a little bit of minerals. We don't need any of that. And, hang on, I know I'm swimming in gas. I've been gathering gas specially. Over to edicts over here. Terraforming gases. Let's terraform. Yeah, basically half the time for the next 13 years. So get that in play. Make sure time's passed to make sure that actually counts. Terraform and good, 1,800. Still going to take a little while, but not that long. So, okay, that's going to become a lovely tropical world, which then we can make a Gaia world, because I'm the idyllic bloom empire, so I'm going to do at least one idyllic bloom. And Repose is basically unguarded. Oh, Tabby, I'm so sorry. How many people live here? Wow. Look at that. 49. The pops here are 49. My capital is 92. A world I just took of some primitives, abandoned, then had to retake, is at 50. That's how dumb fast hives grow. I love it. Begin the bombardment of Repose. We just have to wait for the armies to arrive at this point. They should be on their way, though. Okay, slight issue. The Pax Romana have now made peace with Zhrai, and it looks like they've given up pretty much all their holdings. That means the Zhrai fleets are now ready to come and assist Tabby. I need this war to end sooner rather than later. Here we go. The Venus flytraps have now moved into position around Repose. Tabby has 2 extremely soft armies that are basically just, you know, rolling over and showing their fluffy tummies, and sadly, Tabby looks delicious. As for me though, yeah, pretty much I just need to wait for a nice convenient moment I can sue for White Peace, because White Peace should be good enough to just finish off Tabby forever. Her empire will just cease to exist and I can just recolonize it. And there we go. Tabby hits a very nice 69% war exhaustion. She is now willing to settle the status quo. Spectacular. And there we go. The tenants of Tabby has now been destroyed. We get to keep Lux, which is rather nice. And I suspect things are looking a bit less, chirpy down there these days. Okay, we may have bombed Tabby a bit on the hard side, because it turns out there's only 29 Tabbies left. There were like, 50 when we began. Okay, we definitely nuked Tabby's box too hard, because now there's less Tabbies to eat. Right now we're at -7 to food. Set Tabby to be processed, and that jumps up to 115 positive on the food front. Now, admittedly, Tabbies are apparently not happy and considering batting at me, and they are going to have their claws out while they do it, but to be honest, I don't really care. I'm not sure they can do much to me anymore. Also, I suspect there's about to be a bit of a land grab to seize Tabby's former territory. Okay, start scanning as fast as you like, because we can't take it until we've scanned it. Okay, what happens if we, don't eat the Tabbies? Because I can't help but notice there's a giant pile of, drone jobs. What if Tabbies instead were slaves? Yes, not undesirable. Slavery. Let's set them to slaves and see what's going on right now. So, slavery type will be, aha! Now, this is good. Okay, so this here is much better. So we're not exterminating the Tabbies and just eating them. Instead, we're keeping the population stable. They're going to be, yes. This is much better. So they're now producing, 44 food, but they're not going to disappear, or possibly they are. I imagine they're still trying to escape at this point to, their former Federation members' space. But, yeah, we don't need to house them particularly well. Okay, so Tabby is now livestock. Excellent. This is a much better choice right here. Okay, the mass colonization in this lovely bit of space that was completely empty and definitely did not have any cute, adorable cats in it who we ate and may possibly be continuing to eat in some form of monstrous battery cat farm. Yes, here we go. I've got a plan for this. Because now I've got the basics down, the spawning pool, absolutely crucial. First thing you want to build. We have now finally got ourselves a tropical world that does not have 100% habitability, meaning, it's time. Alright, Gaia Seeders, phase 1. And this planet's already good, alright? Tropical, 85%, because we colonized it properly. We do have a tree of life sapling. That's a really nice bonus too. But no, let's make it better. That's pop growth speed up 10%. That's ludicrous. That means the basic growth rate on a new world is plus 4.72. That's insane. And all we need to keep it upgrading is more gas. Okay, I can buy more gas. The galactic market's set up now. That's not a problem at all. Just buy tons of gas. Alright, lovely. There's gas. Oh, flip. The Tabbies are radicalizing. There could potentially be trouble on repose. Okay, Gaia Seeders phase 2 is now completed, so once again the upkeep is rising. Pop growth speed is actually slowed slightly to only 5%, but habitability plus 10%, so we are now up to 95% habitable tropical world, almost as good as the home world. So that's pretty nice, but no, give me more. I've also just realised the planet's actually losing a fair bit of food, because the problem we've got here is Tabbies still need to be fed so they won't die. They're actually producing less food than they're being fed. And that's because stability has reached such a low level. Okay, so the Tabby troublemakers are now making it so hard to cull them. Tabby, you had a relatively good job here. Okay, most of you were going to live. Some of you. Anyway, there might have been some excess Tabby culling, but for the most part, it was going to go well. But, alright, screw it. Back to the slaughterhouse with all of you. It's a bit of a lost cause. Okay, it can get changed in a couple of years. Still, I've learned a valuable lesson. Okay, you've got to make sure you've got enough manpower to maintain order and control on the system. Otherwise, the people you're trying to turn into livestock are going to cause so much trouble. Yeah, you're just not going to make a food profit. So, okay, we might have to go into more of a charge in, eat everybody, charge back out situation. Yep, the tabbies know what's going on. They've literally decided to go on a hunger strike. So that means we feed them less, but they're also producing less. Phase 3. Okay, we're up to 100% tropical world. It's even got a proper delightful Tree of Life sapling. And even better, actually, Tree of Life sapling comes with society research. We've come across this weird fungal in a random event. That's another 15% on society research. So this here could be a really nice science planet too. But no, we can't turn back now. Alright, this is now a wonderful, beautiful tropical world, but it's not enough. Activate the final stage. Here we go, Ballista Prime, currently a lovely tropical world, which is great. In fact, it's a really nice tropical world, but no. We can do better. It has been converted into a Gaia world. Spectacular. And that clears out the building. So, okay, once you actually complete the process, you don't have to pay the upkeep anymore. But it is interesting that you can use that building for 2 different functions. Because the basic Phase 1 version doesn't actually provide any bonus habitability at all. It just gives you 10% pop growth. But if you've got 10% pop growth, and you've got Hivemind pop growth, and you've got spawning pools, and you've got budding, it's just giving you 10 million pops, and pops win the damn game, so that is no bad thing. Right, tabbies will henceforth be purged once again. There we go, they'll disappear in, like, no time whatsoever. So the tabbies are now being purged. Yep, slave labor has been... Wait, hang on. That's... Okay, the tabbies are apparently happy because their key demand was the abolition of slavery, which I have done, but I've replaced slavery with genocide. But apparently the tabbies are happy about that because I suppose technically slavery has ceased to... Okay, this feels like very malicious compliance, but if the tabbies are happy, the tabbies are happy. Okay, everybody get ready to say goodbye to Tabby because this is literally the last Tabby in the entire galaxy. Well, okay, actually, maybe not. Some of them could have escaped and there we go. There may have been a bit of a scramble to get hold of various bits of land that's also led to everyone tossing claims at everyone else. So, killing Tabby may have just, triggered a land grab that's going to trigger another war. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I would say I think you get the point. This here is Stellaris, or to be precise, it's Stellaris the LEM update 3.1, and okay, we're probably not going to look back at the moment 3.1 came out and said, yes, this was the biggest, most exciting, most important update in the history of Stellaris. Next to the planetary rework, next to the hyperlane rework, it's not the biggest change in the world. The game still feels very similar to what it was. But I like what this represents. I like the existence of the custodian team. I like the fact that old DLC that you've already got is going to start doing stuff that you never even thought it was going to do. That old DLC is going to get better and keep up with newer DLC. That's a really cool system. I like the existence of the custodian team. And okay, while it could do with being fleshed out just a little bit, the tradition tree is a really, really interesting foundation. Alright, there need to be more traditions, so there's more choice, etc, etc. But I will say this is really promising, and I'm really excited for a potential update that massively fleshes out the number of traditions. So, that's enough of Stellaris for now. I'm sure one day we'll be back with a full series, but I think we'll wait for, you know, a big, chunky new expansion with some really big, game-changing stuff in it before we get into that. We'll leave this off for here. As I said earlier, you can try Stellaris out for free right now. Huge sale going on for the game, the DLC, all that good stuff. Link in the description below in case you are interested. And I'm sure, as I say, Stellaris will be back one day. Hopefully, you are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd, and this has been Stellaris. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This is the face of death. Okay, this is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.